Hello Broncos, I'm London Foreman.
And I'm Zach Sexton. Welcome to this edition of Inside Broncos Sports.
The Central Oklahoma baseball team closes out the regular season this weekend with a 3-game MIAA series at Northwest Missouri. The Broncos enter at 24-23 overall and 15-18 in conference play, while the number 23 Bearcats sit at 34-13 and 24-9 in the MIAA. Postseason positioning is on the line, with UCO currently 9th and looking to move as high as 7th ahead of next week's MIAA championship at Wendell Simmons Field. Offensively, UCO is averaging 6.8 runs per game, led by Drake Lee, who is hitting .431 on the season. First pitch from Maryville is set as the Broncos look to build momentum heading into the postseason.
The UCO softball team went to Joplin, Missouri this past weekend, where they went up against Missouri Southern in a doubleheader. The Broncos got 9 hits in and 4 runs as the Missouri Lions got 6-3 and 6-1 wins. Central got off to a great start in the first inning with 3 runs, but Central Missouri came out swinging in the bottom of the first with 3 runs as well. Missouri scored 3 more and UCO went runless after the first inning. UCO lost the second game in the doubleheader with a final score of 1-6. Central softball will close out its season on Friday with their senior game against Newman.
Central Oklahoma checks in at number 3 in the latest NCAA Central Region rankings released Wednesday. The Broncos are 16-3 on the season and just claimed the MIAA regular season title, earning the number 1 seed in this weekend's conference championship in Springfield, Missouri. UCO received a first-round bye and will face the winner Missouri Western and Northeastern State in Saturday's semifinal. Looking ahead, the NCAA will announce the Division II tournament field on May 4th, with regional play set for May 8th and 9th. The national finals will take place May 19th through the 23rd in Surprise, Arizona.
Coming up, we get a look at how Central Oklahoma's golf teams are doing this season.
And UCO's football team closed out the spring season with a win. Stay with us.
Happy birthday! Make a wish.
Miss you guys.
Blue skies smiling at me, talking about blue skies. Do I see bluebirds singing a song, talking about blue skies from now on?
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Are you really sure this is all going to fit?
Oh, it'll fit. I got that.
All right.
When hauling anything, ensure it's secure. Losing your load is dangerous for all drivers. We want everyone to make it home safe. Help make Oklahoma safe by securing your load.
Welcome back. UCO men's and women's golf teams have both competed in the MIAA championship tournaments. The men took first place, beating second place Central Missouri by 21 strokes, shooting 11 under throughout the 3 rounds. And the women's team took 7th place. Both teams will go on to play the NCAA regional tournament. The women play May 4th through the 6th in St. Joseph, Missouri, and the men play 7th through the 9th in Big Rapids, Michigan. If the Broncos win there, they will go to play the Division II championships later in the month. The men in Las Vegas and women in Palm Beach.
Central Oklahoma turned in a strong showing at the Northwest Collegiate Rowing Championships on Saturday. The Broncos varsity 4+ boat took first place in a 5-team race with a time of 757.04, finishing ahead of Oregon and Cal Poly Humboldt. In the varsity 8+, Central finished second, posting a 719.78, just behind Humboldt. Up next, UCO heads to the Great Northwest Athletic Conference Championships in Sacramento. The Broncos have qualified for Nationals 13 straight seasons, and they'll look to keep that streak going.
Central Oklahoma closed out its spring season with a win over Southern Nazarene April 18th at Chad Richardson Stadium. UCO enters the fall with 64 returners from last season's 6-5 team that finished third in the MIAA, including 11 starters and key experience across the depth chart. On offense, senior quarterback Jet Huff leads the way after a record-setting career so far, while Dev Matthews returns after a 10-touchdown season on the ground. Defensively, the Broncos bring back a veteran core at all levels, including Zachary Stillwell and Cameron Doan up front, Reese Roller at linebacker, and Antoine Gilbreth in the secondary. UCentral's Jalik Lewis caught up with Dev Matthews and got inside a look of next season and his time here at UCO.
Woo! Here we are. I'm Jalik Lewis. This is Bronco Playbook. Here we have my boy, Ron Matthews.
Yes,
Dev, before we get into it, man, tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Man, I play running back here at UCO. On school, I'm a safety major. Don't know what I want to do with it yet, but the grades are looking good so far. Outside of football, I like the game. I like to chill with my girlfriend. I don't really like to be outside too much. I like to stay to myself. So, yeah, not really too much in that aspect.
Not really too much in that aspect. Man, let me tell y'all a little something about my boy Dev, man. Known Dev since he was a junior, senior in high school, man. I had the opportunity of taking him on his visit here, of being his chaperone and helping him make this decision to come here. And since he's been here, from my point of view, man, I haven't been more proud of somebody since they stepped foot on this campus. He's done everything that he's been asked. He's done more than that. And, man, he's just excelled in everything that he's been handed, honestly. Like, we've given him a lot of challenges. We told this man, like, hey, look, you're going to be behind some tough running backs. He was. Jalen Contrell, Will Mason, Heavy Chevy, shout out Q. Yes, but, man, he was behind some dudes that were, very good at running the rock. And Dev, he took it to the next level, and he excelled in running the rock as well and doing what he does best, man. And I want to hear your POV from that freshman year, 2024 season, when you were able to be in the same room with all those guys. Like, what was that like?
Yeah, coming into it, of course, like my competitive mindset, I always want to try to be the best, strive to be the best in everything that I do. It's just, when we got to about fall camp, and I just realized, I'm going to be third, fourth string. It was a different experience. I've never been in that position so far playing football, so I had to take that to the chin. And instead of, being mad at myself and being mad at the world, I just had to sit down and ask myself, what could I do in this situation that can still get me better? So instead of, pouting, getting mad at coach, whatever, I decided Jalen Cottrell's out there doing his thing. Let me see what Jalen's doing out there on the field. Bill's out there doing his thing. Let me see what he's doing, how they carry themselves. And then I will take those traits whenever it's my time to shine. So that's what I
And now with making the most of it, you being first string, going into now the 2026 season, now your junior year, you're 3 years in the game now, man. Like, you done been through the mud, you done been through the spring, you done been through the summer. Like, you were now seasoned vet. How does that feel?
Man, it feels amazing, man. I ain't gonna lie. It did go by really quick.
Quick.
I had to grow up really fast and everything, but it's honestly a good experience to be a seasoned vet. I get to spit some wisdom to the young bulls, get to get them right. I get to step up as a leader of the team, which is a goal I had for myself going into this year, and I'm just excited to see how that goes.
And, for, the young guys, the Marquise, the LT, even my boy Edric, shout out Edric.
Shout out E.
What's a message that you want to lead to them going into this 2026 season?
Stay ready so you ain't got to get ready, man. Ooh. Stay ready so you ain't got to get ready,
Stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. And that played an important role for you both years, correct? Especially this recent year with you saying Jalen went out with an ankle injury, Bill went out with an ankle injury. You was next up. You was right there, and it was quick. I love that, man. For our finishing remarks, is there anything that you would like to leave to your Edmond North Huskies, man, or any high schoolers that are watching you, man?
If you strive to play college ball, it's definitely possible. Just have that confidence in yourself that you can do anything. You can do anything you put your mind to it, and then as long as you have faith, man. And if you get to that level, which I believe y'all can, make sure you have your priorities straight, man. Football is really a bonus. You got to have those grades. You got to have good character, and you got to have being able to be coachable, man. Like, you can't be talking back to coach and everything like that. Like, you have to just do what they tell you and move on with it. That's all I really got to say.
Appreciate this man, Deb Matthews. Hey, one more time, this is my guy.
Yes,
this is
sir.
my guy right here. Y'all tune in for his 2026 season, his junior season. It will be incredible, man. Deb Matthews, we appreciate you.
Thanks, Jalik. Coming up after the break, we break down the NBA playoffs so far and what teams might make it past round one.
And we caught up with the photographer who took the iconic Shea photos seen around the world.
I was raised to believe in the power of possibility, to always move forward but never forget where I came from, to value hard work, ingenuity, and hospitality. On one hand, my people are rough and rugged. On the other, refined and elegant. They taught me how to love beautiful things and cherish my past, to seek out adventure, eat well, and to have a good time. So I keep their traditions alive every place I go. They call me Oklahoma City, but you can call me the modern frontier.
UCentral News as a whole, you got to be in those different areas, like being on camera, being off camera, being in the control room. And so I feel like that is what prepared me most about being in the workplace.
UCentral and the Mass Comm department has provided me all the tools and the fundamentals that are needed in order to thrive well and thrive fast at my job.
Maybe it's time to hit the road and visit a place where stories unfold. This is the land of the ultimate road trip, with sights old and new on Route 66. There's fun to be had, so much to do, and a few new surprises before you get through. Oklahoma has the most miles to share of Route 66. It's really quite rare. TravelOK.com will show you the way. Come see for yourself this iconic highway.
The NBA playoffs are heating up in the West, starting out with the teams who have already clinched their way into the second round. Our very own first seed Oklahoma City Thunder has swept the number 8 Phoenix Suns 4-0 in their series. The first game in the series, the Thunder gave the Suns an embarrassing blowout of 119-84. The last 3 games were a lot closer, but no match for the reigning champions. The number 2 San Antonio Spurs are making their way to the second round after beating the Trailblazers in a 4-1 series, only losing the second game to Portland when the Spurs star Victor Wembanyama was out for concussion injury. Now moving into what we don't know yet, and it's official, the LeBron-led Los Angeles Lakers are facing the Houston Rockets in a Game 6, after losing to the Rockets last night at home. The Houston Rockets without Kevin Durant need a win tomorrow night at home in the Toyota Center to bring the series to 3-3, moving to a Game 7 in Los Angeles. The number 6 Minnesota Timberwolves are in the lead of their series against the Denver Nuggets 3-2. Game 6 is tonight in Minnesota, and this game seems like it could go either way. The Minnesota Timberwolves are without their best player, Anthony Edwards, so they'll have their work cut out for them against 3-time MVP Nikola Jokic.
Now going over to the Eastern Conference. The Detroit Pistons took Game 5 against the Orlando Magic in a closely contested battle last night. Cade Cunningham scored a franchise record 45 points to keep the 1-seed Pistons alive. Paolo Banchero also scored 45 points, but Franz Wagner's absence made this game difficult for Orlando. Game 6 will take place tomorrow night at 6 p.m. The Cleveland Cavaliers also went up 3-2 in their series last night, beating the Toronto Raptors 125-120. James Harden and Evan Mobley both earned 23 points for the Cavs, and the team shot an incredibly efficient 18 for 36 from 3. This game came down to the fourth quarter, where Dennis Schroeder scored 11 of his 19 points and Mobley hit 2 huge threes to put Toronto to sleep. The next game in the series is tomorrow at 6:30. The New York Knicks are up 3-2 against the Atlanta Hawks. In their game on Tuesday, Jalen Brunson exploded for 39 points, shooting 15 for 23 from the field. They blew out the Hawks 126-97 in Madison Square Garden, limiting CJ McCollum to just 6 points. Tonight, they play in Atlanta at 6 p.m., just one game away from advancing to the second round of the playoffs. The Sixers stole Game 5 from the Celtics in Boston on Tuesday, winning 113-97. The team rallied behind Joel Embiid, had an efficient 33 points, and the team had 5 players finish in double figures. Philadelphia was down by 7 at the half, but outscored Boston by 6 in the third, and dominated them 28-11 in the fourth to win by 16. The 76ers take on the Celtics in Philly tonight to try and push this game to a series Game 7.
In the 2025 championship parade, the Oklahoma City Thunder pays tribute by passing the Oklahoma City Bombing Memorial. An iconic moment of history was captured that day in a photo that pays tribute to Oklahoma's history.
My name is Jimmy Doe. I'm the lifestyle and brand photography manager for the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's very cool, you know, because I've made several trips to the museum, just working through the Thunder. We have an after-school program in Tulsa where we take these students to learn about the history of Oklahoma City bombing, its impact on the community. And so by the time they go around to my side of the exhibit, they see my picture, they didn't know that I've been the guy that's photographing them through the tour. The moment has a special meaning to the city because the shot is like the city's worst tragedy rolled up into its greatest triumph in one. You know, it's really a really good showcase of resilience of the city and how far we've come since that day.
God, 31 years ago, you proved there is no evil where you cannot bring good. Tonight we honor those killed, those that responded, and those that rebuilt by doing what this city does, rising up. Bless these players and this crowd. May we show a divided world that love still wins. Amen.
You gain more of an appreciation of the city, of its history. You gain an appreciation of the Oklahoma City Thunder's relationship with the memorial. You also just gain an appreciation how the photo impacted a lot of people profoundly, because it's a photo that tells a story of resiliency of the city and how far we've come along, and it continues to resonate with all of us to this day. So aside from that, I get a lot more requests for photos and autographs and all that stuff. So that's the cool part, but the main thing to me is that it's just nice to know that something I shot impacted a lot of people in so many different ways. And it's a cool way to just tell the world that the community is strong and that it's extremely resilient.
And finally, in minor league baseball, the Oklahoma City Comets have entered a bit of a slump. They have lost 5 of their last 6 games and have fallen to a 13-16 record. They are currently tied for last place in the Pacific Coast League East. The Comets lost yesterday's match against the Round Rock Express with a score of 3-6. Round Rock scored 3 runs in the first inning to get an early lead. The Comets managed to tie the game but in the 5th inning, but they couldn't score again. The Oklahoma City Comets' next home series starts May 5th against the Salt Lake Bees.
Thanks for joining us for this edition of Inside Bronco Sports.
See you next time, Broncos. Have a good night.